Hey, what's up YouTube? This is 17 Jenkins here, and I'm finally back with the third battle in the VBS Battle Royale. Now, even though this says Matt, and this is Matt's team, this is his Pokemon, this is actually my buddy Sceptile, hence there's a Sceptile on the team. Ethan actually lost his X in his Pokemon X game, and it was all because he knocked out a shiny Fracture when he was just hunting for a Fracture in a Friend Safari, and he rage quitted, and he's lost it ever since. So he actually wanted to challenge me this week, well, a couple weeks back during VBS, and so yeah, of course I know Ethan's strong, and so he has proved himself, especially with that Sceptile of his. Oh my goodness, Sceptile, I've earned a whole new respect. I already knew he was good, but Ethan showed me how good he can really be, and so I was really almost scared to fight him because, yeah, these aren't his Pokemon, but Ethan's really good at coming up with strategies on the spot. So I was a little intimidated. But as you can see, he's got a decent team overall. A Scavalier, which you don't really see a whole lot of, but it's actually, I think it's pretty decent. Dragonite, my favorite Pokemon, utterly boss. Charizard, Y, and of course, why would you not like Y? Crawdaunt, awesome Pokemon. I just wish it was bulkier. Sceptile, enough said. And Sableye, the ultimate prankster troll. I mean, Mega Sable is going to be interesting. But anyway, yeah, like I said, this is the third battle in the series. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. As you can see, my team, before I get started, my team is Tank the Shuckle, Kia the Klefki, Derp Cake the Slurpuff. Yeah, I took 2 bulky fairy types. Zendaya the Darmanitan, Baragon the Needy King, and my own Crawdaunt. They actually got through a Wonder Trade. So let's get started. Alright, this is not Matt, this is Ethan. And so I'll start with Shuckle, because I've been using Sticky Web a lot in these battles lately. And so he starts with Sableye. I'm expecting a taunt, so just to see what he's going to use, I use Protect. Because I know Sableye is good for just all kinds of crazy stuff. And so he uses Confuse Ray. And so actually he switches, which surprises me. And I go ahead, and he sends out Sceptile. And so I go ahead and set up Sticky Web, so even if I'm confused, I can at least do something. Because Sticky Web pays off all the time. And look at this. Okay, there's Leaf Storm. It's actually not a special base Sceptile, I don't think. And so it does half, but that's with a Life Orb, guys. And that's a 130 power move. I don't know if they buffed it down to 130 or not. But, well, nerfed it. Buff it would be increasing it. But yeah, I'll go ahead and poison Sceptile so I can whittle him down, at least. Because I know if I whittle it down, it won't be able to survive hits. Now, that's the main thing, is taking out Sceptile, because I know how good Ethan can be with him. And so, apparently, he knows mostly physical moves because he goes for a Dragon Claw. He might not know Leaf Blade. I would think he would know Leaf Blade, or Ethan would have used it. So, he goes ahead and switches. And so, I'm sure he's expecting another Toxic or something. And he predicts right, because I go for Toxic again to kind of stall out. And so, that was really smart on his part. He predicts my Protect here, because I know Ethan's smart when it comes to this prediction stuff. And he goes and sets up a Swords Dance. And so Shuckle served his purpose. He's poisoned a Pokemon. He set up Sticky Web. And so I let Tank go down to an Iron Head. And plus that Rocky Helmet damage, if he has it, breaks sturdy. And so, yeah. I go ahead. And the reason he doesn't have leftovers this battle is because Klefki does. And so I send out Zendaya the Darmanitan. And obviously he's going to switch. What surprises me, though, he actually switches into Sceptile. I'm like, okay. Well, he actually just death fodders it pretty much. And so he lets, I mean, there's no doubt, a Choice Banded Sheer Force Stab Fire Punch from Darmanitan is not going to fail at knocking out Sceptile. I don't remember how much defense it has. And so obviously I switched because now I'm Choice Banded into Fire Punch. I couldn't do anything, and he'd probably kill me with Earthquake. So I go to Crawdaunt, knowing I can take at least an Earthquake. And so he goes ahead and uses Earthquake. It does about half, so that's actually really good for not having Stab. And this Crawdaunt actually has max HP and, well, it has max defense IVs, but it has max HP. And so I actually use Knockoff, and it does a good chunk to Charizard. I was surprised it didn't do more, but it's because you can't, that's right, it's because you can't knock off his item. But, yeah, what Ethan does is really smart here. He actually, well, of course, Drought sets up. That's why I love Mega Charizard so much. I'm going to use his Protect, because he's going to just check out and see if I have Aqua Jet. And yeah, this one does. It's actually one I got, like I said, it's one I got through Wonder Trade. He knows Aqua Jet, Knockoff, Waterfall, I think, and Superpower. And so yeah, he's pretty good. And so I go ahead and use Aqua Jet, not thinking he's going to switch. And so I use Aqua Jet, and because the sun's up, even with adaptability, it's not going to be that great. And of course, Sableye has leftovers to ensure he stays alive. I'm going to raise a Sableye and call him Stitch, I'm just saying. So hopefully he'll be in a battle later. I need to raise one first. But anyway, he goes and confuses me with Confuse Ray, and I'm like, great. And of course, like you tend to do, I hit myself in confusion. And it's a good chunk too. I mean, it does 40 HP. I mean, out of 170, it builds up after a while. And so he goes ahead, and I don't know what he was trying to do here. Probably he was going to use Knockoff too, but I use Knockoff, and look at that! It just flat out knocks him out. So, yeah, which Sableye's not super bulky, so... I mean, it was like 200 something power with stab and adaptability. And so, even though I'm confused, I actually do get an Aqua Jet. And even though he's like at a 4th health in the sun, I still get a KO with Aqua Jet. I was shocked. I've lost all faith in water moves in the sun ever since my shiny Gyarados lost to that shiny Charizard. If you see that battle, you know what I'm talking about. But, yeah, out comes this Crawdaunt. He's got Sticky Web, so I know I'm going to be faster. The problem is, I'm still confused. And so I was going to set up a superpower on him, but sadly, that doesn't happen. And he knows superpower. And so he uses superpower on me. And so Crawdaunt takes down Crawdaunt. And I was like, yay. Because Crawdaunt did a heck of a lot in this battle. Man, he just annihilated a good amount of Pokemon. And so he did his part. And so out comes Derp Cake. I have enjoyed battling with this thing. It's just such a trolly Pokemon. It just looks so derpy, and then it's a boss. But even with Knockoff's going to be horrible, of course, but it knocks up my Citrus Berry. Thankfully, Unburdened doesn't really matter this battle because of how slow everybody is. I mean, especially Escavalier, man. I mean, that thing couldn't get any slower. And its Pokedex entry says it darts around at super fast speeds. Just, I don't know. Well, anyway, I start setting up Calm Mind, and I've already got a Cotton Guard up, so I know I can take an Iron Head. But I switch out, obviously. So I switch out to Zendaya. And what was going to happen? That's right. He did use Iron Head. And so I knew I could take an Iron Head. But I actually did less than I thought it would. I mean, because, let's face it, Durantan's defenses suck. He's such a boss, though. Well, actually, Zendaya's a girl, so... I kind of named her Zendaya because of the whole Zen mode thing, even though she has Sheer Force, and like Zendaya from the girl from Shake It Up. But anyway, Fire Punch does good. I mean, that's Choice Banded Sheer Force stab, so, I mean, it wasn't fantastic. I mean, if it had done over half, that would have been great, but, I mean, it could have been a lot worse. So he uses Aqua Jet. Now, Aqua Jet obviously would have killed me, so that's, of course, I was going to switch. But it didn't do a whole lot to me. And look at this crap. He barely lives! I was like, ow! I raged a little bit. And then he just goes and sets up a Dragon Dance, which really is his only chance of beating me, of beating Derp Cake now. At least getting some damage out before he goes down. And so he goes and uses Aqua Jet, and because of the Dragon Hits, it does do decent, but because of my Cotton Guard, it's not going to do nearly as much as it could have. So I've restored the little bit HP I have. I actually got rid of Wish on my Derp Cake and taught him Flamethrower as requested and suggested by EV Sceptile, so yeah. It would have helped so much in this battle, because look at this! It's a Scavalier! I could have OHKO'd this thing after a Calm Mind, I'm sure. I mean, I would have taken care of him right there. I could have burned Dragonite and all that, but hindsight's 20/20. And so he goes ahead and switches again, to my surprise, and he switches out to Dragonite. And so, I'm thinking, okay, I've got to, I was not going to use Ice Beam because I knew if I did, I'd be dead. And so I go and use Sludge Wave, but of course, he switches out to a Scavalier, and then I use Earth Power, and it does quite nicely. Sadly, he's got a Citrus Berry, and so most of that well, about half of that, maybe about a third to a half of that HP I just did was restored. And so an Iron Head does about half. I don't think this Escavalier has max IVs at all. But Iron Head still did decent because Nidoking's defenses are not good. And of course, so Earth Power doesn't do jack. If I'd used Sludge Wave that turn, I could have taken down Dragonite. But sadly, I didn't. Like I said, hindsight's 20/20. And so I get busted wide open by Dragonite. Alright, the video just ended, so I had to keep it going. I mean, I hate how the 3DS does that at times. But yeah, I sent out Derp Cake, and I didn't even think about him having Roost. And so, of course, Draining Kiss doesn't do jack, because I haven't set up yet, and with multi-scale. And then, of course, he has the weakness policy. And so, I just screwed myself over with that. So that was nice. And so, Earthquake is going to do a good amount of damage now. It about takes me out. And, of course, because I have not set up Draining Kiss does not do nearly enough to save me. I'm so glad this move does 75% back to you, because if not, it would just be a sucky draining move. And so, yeah, finally Derp Cake goes down, but he did a lot in this battle. So, out comes Zendaya. And so, Sheer Force Choice Band Rock Slide without multi-scale is definitely going to kill Dragonite. Thankfully, it did. I was sitting there, I was like, please hit. And, yeah, because I knew I was done for if Dragonite survived. And so, I want to save Zendaya. I'm not an idiot. Escaveler's obviously going to not be able to outrun me anyway, but I'm not an idiot. I switched out to Klefki because I was expecting just Iron Head, and I didn't want to crit because I wanted to ensure that she was the last hope I had. I mean, no matter what. And this thing actually knows reversal. And so I switched out to Klefki. Obviously, it can take a hit from Iron Head and any other move. I was expecting Iron Head, of course. And so I go ahead and use Flash Cannon because it'll do way more Draining Kiss. And it can lower the special defense. And he just keeps using Swords Dance. That's just what he keeps doing. Escavalier would be really good in Trick Room. I might need to raise another Trick Room team. I do like his design's so awesome. Him and Asoga are both really sweet. I think I prefer his design though over Asoga. Although Shiny Asoga looks sick. But anyway, this is a critical hit Swords Dance reversal when he's about to die. So Klefki's got some bulk. I mean, she can take a hit as long as I set up. And so I don't even have to send out Darmanitan to finish off Escavalier because Klefki does it for her. And that is the game. Woo woo! So I finally beat Sceptile again. So hopefully when Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire come out, I'm getting Omega Ruby because Primal Groudon looks sick. And plus him being a Fire Ground type and Groudon being one of my favorite legendaries, I'm getting that. So when Eevee gets that too, because he's planning on getting, I think he's getting Omega Ruby too. But we should hopefully be doing some battles on here and posting those. Maybe like trading some Pokemon from this game to that maybe, and doing some battles that way. I'm not sure if I have to be like in Black and White 2 where you have to get like the National Pokedex first or anything like that. But yeah, hopefully be getting some battles up in Auras. But anyway, for now we're going to stick to Gen 6 X and Y. But I thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for episode 4. I'll try and get it up as soon as I can. This next coming week I'm going to be quite busy elsewhere, and so I'll try and get this up as soon as I can. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next VBS Battle Royale video. Later guys.